Los Angeles Rams. They obviously retained both quarterbacks, Matt Stafford and Jimmy Garoppolo. Lost Cooper Kupp to free agency. They went out and cut him. Signed Devontae Adams, though. Signed Poona Ford to play defensive tackle. Coleman Shell and Laurel Murchison, a little backups on the offensive and defensive side of the football. A minus. I think for the Rams, kind of a quiet but effective. You replaced Cooper Kupp. I think you upgraded on him pretty comfortably. And I think Poona Ford, that's a great budget signing. You have a ass-kicking interior now on that Rams defensive line.
Yeah, that's the big move there with Poona Ford, because now you get the four horsemen that the Rams have always kind of relied on that defensive front, at least in recent memory. Since my older brother became a Ram, that's all they've done is just load up at that defensive front, allow those guys to win their one-on-ones, create havoc, create pressure. That's what it's going to be. And we haven't even mentioned the fact that Matthew Stafford is back in the saddle in Los Angeles. You mentioned it, but I haven't mentioned it. I'm talking about the defensive side. This is the identity of that football team. Yes, they are great on the defensive side of the ball. They're young. They've got stars. But it's the old man at quarterback. It's the young man at head coach. And now it's the on the back half of 18, Devontae Adams looking to make redemption arc here, as opposed to last year, where obviously the much maligned New York Jets didn't have the success they were supposed to have. He can go really make a run at the Super Bowl here with the Los Angeles Rams. They're dangerous. They were, one Jalen Carter play away from having the opportunity to go represent the NFC or be a representative in the NFC Championship. It's not far-fetched to say that this Rams team is on the precipice of maybe another run. And with the Chiefs being a big question mark and them getting older and older and more expensive, it's going to be tough. And I mean, yeah, the Eagles will probably be back, but they got to beat somebody in the NFC. And why couldn't it be the Rams? So I'm going to give them a B+.
Like what the Rams did. All right, let's get to the Seahawks, who made the splash, obviously, trading away Geno Smith, trading away DK Metcalf, losing Tyler Lockett, retained Ernest Jones, the linebacker who they traded for from the Titans midway through the last season, Jerron Reed, Cody White, and they went out and signed Sam Darnold, Cooper Kupp, DeMarcus Lawrence, MVS, some big names, but is it going to work out here, Kyle?
I went D on this. Your quarterback and your wide receiver, who was a stud, and your quarterback was a stud at times. Both those guys are out the door. You're starting from scratch on the offensive side of the ball. And obviously Sam Darnold not getting top of the market anywhere near it money to play quarterback for this football team. But when you've got a defensive head coach, when you've got a group that is figuring out their identity on defense, the one question mark you don't want is that quarterback. And unfortunately for me, it still remains a question mark whether or not Sam Darnold was a guy that was a product of the system in Minnesota or he was just a product of a maturation arc. Still a younger guy. So we're seeing him get better and better, but I want to see if he can pick up where he left off in the regular season with the Minnesota Vikings. And obviously DK Metcalf, it's going to be tough to wrap my head around him not being in a Seahawks jersey. He's just epitomized, that offense for so long.
Yeah, I went C-. I did not like this offseason. I didn't like the signings even outside of Sam Darnold. So Sam Darnold, whatever, it didn't end up actually costing them that much as far as franchise quarterbacks go. And obviously last year, an aberration.
But are you getting better? Are you getting better?
Yes. I don't see how they did. Cooper Kupp, going from DK Metcalf to Cooper Kupp is just like the speed difference alone. And then DeMarcus Lawrence at his age, he's going to be 33 here soon.
Hasn't had a consistent season since 22.
I don't like what they did. I don't think this got you over the edge. And the one position where it's like, hey, we were so bad at last year, interior offensive line, they didn't do anything for it. They did not do anything.
Well, we know how he feels about guards.
Yeah.
We know Schneid feels about guards. We've talked about it before. I don't want to beat him up about it, but if you had better guards, maybe your staff would have felt more comfortable handing the football off to Marshawn Lynch in the Super Bowl. I'm just saying. IJS.
Let's get to the Arizona Cardinals.
They
made some big moves, signing Josh Sweat, signing Dalvin Tomlinson. Will Hernandez really the only notable loss. Kaiser White at linebacker as well. Re-signed Baron Browning after trading for him midway through last season. I liked what they did. Now, I don't think Dalvin Tomlinson in his early 30s was worth $15 million a year. Not a bet I would have taken, but I love the Sweat signing. It did not come at a big price tag. And all of a sudden, start of last season, you had no edge rushers. You were hoping Darius Robinson was that guy. Now you have Baron Browning, Josh Sweat, and Darius Robinson heading into year 2. You actually like that edge group. That's an edge group that can win. That can be one of the better ones, with Dennis Gardeck being your kind of third down Swiss Army knife there, wild card. So I think they've done a good job replenishing. They didn't go out and really break the bank. They didn't. Josh Sweat came in way below the number I thought he'd end up getting. So for all those reasons, yeah, I gave it a B+.
Love that. I'm going to be giving it, what did I give it, a B or a B+ here? Yeah, I gave it a B. And you've talked about the moves that the Cardinals have made all offseason and what you expected them to make, what they needed to make, and then watching them go and do these things. Boom, boom, boom. It's been good to watch. You know this team probably better than I do. So I'm going to stick with your grading scale here and go with the B.
All right, 49ers, who probably lost more than any other team in the NFL this offseason, just in terms of pure numbers of guys who were starters on this team. Deebo Samuel, wide receiver, Charvarius Ward at corner, Dre Greenlaw, linebacker, Talanoa Hufanga at safety, Aaron Banks at guard, Javon Hargrave at defensive tackle. Now, a lot of those guys injured last year or have their play declining, whether it was Greenlaw, Hufanga, Hargrave injured, Samuel probably on a downslide, but that's still a lot of dudes. And again, because those guys were on the football field was a big reason why you weren't in the playoffs last year. So the stars are still there. Stars are still in the fold, but they went out and did not backfill at all. Their free agent signings, I'm not sure you've heard of many of them. Luke Farrell, Demarcus Robinson, Trey Brown, Richie Grant, Luke Gifford.
Love Demarcus Robinson.
Ciaran Neal. I do think Trey Brown signing is the most intriguing one to me of all of those. The other one, though, that was one of my favorites, Mac Jones. We talked about that already, though. I love the Mac Jones signing. So kind of a scraping the bottom of the barrel there for the 49ers, trying to see what sticks. But it's just hard to get over all those losses. And this is just kind of the situation they put themselves in with the Trent Williams contract, with the Brandon Ayuk contract. So I went C+.
I didn't give a grade. I just wrote beef in this locker room.
You did write that.
Because
explain.
Okay, so I'm not up to speed on all the WAGs stuff, but as you know, the wives and girlfriends of the National Football League, they have big social followings now, big time. And anything they upload, whether it be aggressive, passive aggressive, nice, sad, angry, it gets reported. And the reports are coming out, again, I'm no expert on the WAGs, but the reports are coming out that there were some folks happy that Juszczyk was apparently going to be on another team, and then he ends up signing back. And then there's reunion posts from like Kittle and Juszczyk, but the defensive side of the ball, some of the guys on the defensive side of the ball have wives who are not very happy about that. Something to watch. I'll tell you what, happy wife, happy life. Happy wife, good team too. Happy wives, good team.
Yeah, think about those things.
Something to keep an eye on. I'm serious. You got to think about, we as dudes spend so much time with each other in the locker room, at practice, on the plane. We kind of have to get along. Even if we don't get along, we have a common thread there with football. The WAGs, they don't get the opportunity as much every day. We're 6 to 6 every day with these bros. So I hope that they do get the opportunity during the offseason to kind of mend some of these wounds that have been opened up throughout free agency, because, they're a star-studded cast of characters, both on the field and at the suite level there at Levi Stadium. And I hope they all get their stuff straight.
Cracks in the foundation at Levi's. Oh,
not good. Not good.
Great reporting there from you.